In 2019, a man in Canada pulled a half-frozen wolf pup out of a river. He wrapped it in his own jacket. He drove 4 hours through a blizzard to reach a sanctuary. He didn't sleep. He didn't stop. He saved its life. And the moment that cage door opened, the wolf went straight for his throat. He did everything right. The wolf did everything natural. And the gap between those two things is bigger, darker, and stranger than anything you've been told about animals and humans. By the end of this video, you'll never look at a rescue clip the same way again. We were raised on a fantasy. Disney animals that cry when you save them. Viral clips of grateful deer nuzzling their rescuers. An entire internet economy built on the idea that animals understand kindness. But here's the part nobody wants to say out loud. Some animals don't see a savior. They see a slower, weirder, two-legged predator who hasn't killed them yet. And your kindness, the most beautiful thing you've ever done, might be the most terrifying experience of their entire life. I'm going to walk you through 4 things in this video. The brain that physically cannot recognize help. The handful of species who actually can. The disturbing paradox hiding inside every animal rescue. And the stories that break every rule we just made. Stay until the end. The last one will mess with you. A wild animal's brain was not built to recognize help. It was built to recognize threat. And from the inside, those two signals look almost identical. Picture a deer tangled in barbed wire. You walk up slowly. You speak softly. You hold your hands low. You reach out. Here's what the deer actually sees. An upright predator. And yes, we are predators. Our eyes face forward like a wolf's, not sideways like its own. Closing the distance, cutting off the escape route, making the same slow, deliberate movements a stalking cougar would make. Every gentle gesture you make is, inside that nervous system, the choreography of a kill. This is called the predator silhouette response, and it is hardwired. A fawn born yesterday that has never seen a human in its life will freeze the same way it freezes for a mountain lion. The shape alone triggers it. The upright spine, the forward eyes, the deliberate steps. So, when you see one of those viral videos, a grateful animal sitting perfectly still while a stranger cuts it free, most of the time, that animal isn't grateful. It's in something called tonic immobility. The body shuts down. The heart rate crashes. The muscles lock. It's playing dead, waiting for the killing bite that, in its mind, is seconds away. When you finally walk off and the animal calmly trots into the trees, that's not gratitude. That's a nervous system rebooting from the worst moment of its life. And the saddest part, for that deer, the trauma of being rescued may last longer than the injury that trapped it. Researchers studying capture myopathy have found that some animals literally die from the stress of being saved days after they're released. Their hearts give out. Their muscles dissolve. You can do everything perfectly, you can save its life, and you can be the reason it dies. Here's where it gets strange, because not every animal reacts like prey. Crows remember human faces for years. Researchers at the University of Washington wore rubber masks while trapping crows for tagging. 5 years later, crows in that area were still dive-bombing anyone wearing that mask. Crows they had never trapped. Crows that had not even been born when the original trapping happened. The hatred had been passed down, inherited, taught from parent to chick. Now, flip the coin. Crows also remember the humans who feed them, and they say thank you. They bring gifts, bottle caps, shiny screws, bits of glass. A little girl in Seattle named Gabby got so well known among her local crows that they started leaving her presents on her bird bath. Earrings, buttons, a heart-shaped piece of metal. One day, she got a real pearl earring from a bird. So crows know, elephants know, dolphins know, great apes know, some parrots know. There is a short, strange list of species on this planet whose brains are wired to grasp the concept of intention, to look at a human and think, this one means something different than that one. And here's the part that should bother you. Almost none of those animals are the ones we usually rescue. The cute ones? Deer, rabbits, foxes, raccoons, squirrels, possums, songbirds. Their brains do not have the architecture to ask the question, is this human trying to help me? Their neocortex is too small, their social cognition runs on a different track. They have, essentially, two settings: flee or freeze. That doesn't make them stupid. It makes them perfectly evolved for a world that did not have us in it. We are the strange new animal in their universe. And we showed up too recently for evolution to write us into their software. Now, I want you to sit with something deeply uncomfortable. When a wildlife rehabilitator raises an orphaned fox kit, something happens over a few weeks. The fox stops running. It eats from their hand. It sleeps near them. It even comes when called. And the rescuer, full of love, says the thing every rescuer says: "See, it trusts me." But the data tells a different story. That fox is showing the same neurological pattern as a hostage who stopped fighting. Captivity rewires the brain. Cortisol, the stress hormone, stays elevated for weeks, sometimes months. The flight response doesn't actually disappear. It gets suppressed, buried under sheer exhaustion. The animal has not become tame. It has run out of energy to be afraid. There's a word for this in humans. You know the word. We don't have a polite word for it in animals, but the brain scans look surprisingly similar. And here's the cruel twist nobody tells you. When that tame fox finally gets released back into the wild, it does something dangerous. It walks up to the next human it sees. Because in its little neural map, humans have been redrawn as safe, food givers, warmth givers. The next human is usually holding a shotgun, or driving a car, or owns a dog, or runs a chicken farm. Wildlife biologists have a grim statistic for this. Most hand-raised wild animals are dead within 12 months of release. Not from disease, not from starvation, from trusting the wrong human. So the question we started with, did the animal know you were helping, turns out to be the wrong question. The real question is something much harder. Was helping it the same thing as harming it? You took a creature whose entire survival depended on being afraid of you, and you taught it not to be afraid. You gave it a gift that, in the wild, is fatal. This is why ethical rehabilitators wear masks, stay silent, never make eye contact, never let the animal associate a human face with food, with comfort, with safety. The best rescue is the one where the animal leaves still terrified of you, where it runs the moment the cage opens and never looks back. The good rescuer is the one the animal will never thank. But, and you need to hear this, there are stories that break every rule I just laid out, and we don't know what to do with them. In 2005, a humpback whale got tangled in fishing nets off the California coast. Divers spent over an hour cutting her free, knowing that one panicked tail flick could kill them. When she was finally loose, she didn't swim away. She swam up to each diver, one by one, and gently touched them with her fin. Each one, like a receipt, like a signature, like thank you. The divers described it as the most emotional experience of their lives. Christian the lion, raised by two men in London and eventually released into the Kenyan wilderness, recognized his former owners a full year later in the African bush. He had been wild for months. He was bigger, stronger, with his own pride, and when he saw them, he ran at them at full speed, not to attack, but to wrap his paws around their shoulders. The footage exists. You can watch it. People still cry at it. An elephant in Thailand named May Perm returned to the veterinarian who saved her from a landmine injury every year on roughly the same day for the rest of his life. Nobody knows how she remembered the date. Nobody knows how she remembered him. So what do we do with this? Either these are extraordinary coincidences our pattern-hungry brains are decorating with meaning, or the line between animals that understand help and animals that don't is much blurrier than the science is willing to admit. Maybe the most honest answer is the most unsatisfying one. Some of them know, most of them don't. And we will probably never agree on which is which, because the animals can't tell us. They can only show us. In tail flicks, in returns, in gifts left on a bird bath, in a wolf that goes for the throat anyway. So next time a rescue video shows up in your feed, the man freeing a deer from a fence, the woman cradling a soaked baby bird, don't watch the body, watch the eyes, because somewhere behind those eyes, a brain that's been evolving for 40 million years is making a decision about you. It's deciding whether you're a predator, a peer, a god, or a ghost. And whatever it decides, you will never actually know. The animal you saved this year, right now, somewhere out there, it might be alive in a forest you've never seen, and around its kin, in whatever language it has, calls, postures, scents. It might be telling the story of the day a monster let it live. If this rewired something in your head, subscribe.